What does the presidential election, if anything, do to cryptocurrency? That's one of the things we're going to check out today. We shall also look at the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is coming up very soon. What do we think is going to happen to cryptocurrency? Then again, all of what we say is not financial advice. Let's get into it. And as always, cue my guy, Indigo Saint. Check him out at the Third Eye. Let's get it. And boom, let's go. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Black Voo Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe I was black or invested. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifested. So we binge on our black or invested. Best believe I was black or invested. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that black or invested. Best believe I was black or invested.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's see who's in the chat here. What is up, 64EGC? What's up, Crypto in Focus? Let's go ahead and share our screen here. So I just wanted to look at really quickly, like, what did the last three presidential elections do to cryptocurrency? What did it do to the stock market? What can we expect, with these last three presidential elections? And I think it went something like Biden, Trump, Obama. I think that's how it went there. So Democrat, Republican, Democrat. And before Obama, I believe it was Obama again. And then it was, Bush twice, Junior Bush twice. So, we flip-flop Democrat, Republican kind of deal. So let's see if that has any bearing on the market there. And one of the other things we'll want to do there is look at how that's going to impact our fourth quarter. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to see in the comments what you guys are looking at for the fourth quarter, what you're thinking at looking at investing in coming up here for the 2025. Okay. Because I believe every election is basically in November. If we come over here and take a look here, the last three presidential elections were held November something 2020 or 2020, November 8th, 2016, November 6th, 2012. Okay. So if we take that and we come over here and look at Bitcoin, just getting right into it here. So as far as Bitcoin goes, and we don't have 2012 on here because 2012, basically, I don't think Bitcoin did exist, but it was something like really low. I think Bitcoin came into existence in 2009. Okay. So it'd be under this bar here. So you can see here, presidential election on November of 2016. Bitcoin was around like $675. Then we get here November. Actually, from 2016 all the way to 2020, Bitcoin went up a lot, right? You could see that. And then coming up here is going to be up a lot more. So as far as any asset goes, I mean, can't really beat Bitcoin as far as like growth. That's crazy. It's crazy to look at. And I was looking at something here where it was like basically the end or the middle of 2019, Bitcoin was sitting here at around like 3,840 something dollars. So basically, if you invested like 12K in Bitcoin at that point, 5 years ago, you'd have 180K. That's just amazing to think about, right? Just amazing to think about. So basically, if you would have put like 50, like 50, 60K in Bitcoin, you'd be a millionaire right now if you did that in 2019. Crazy, crazy thoughts. Okay, right? Crazy, crazy thoughts. Now, if we look at the stock market in that same time frame, right? And with the stock market, we could go back kind of further, right? So 2020 November, it was sitting at like 343. If you guys don't know what the SPY is, it's the index of the top 500 companies. And an index is just like an ETF, which is a basket of stocks. So in this case, the top 500 companies. And I think they reevaluate that every year. So some of the companies kind of towards the bottom get rotated out for other companies. Like for instance, Tesla is now in the S&P 500, I believe. I don't know who they took out, but they are now in there. So as you can see, basically since 2008, right? The market has just gone up and up and up and up. From like look at 2008. Okay, I guess the S&P didn't start until 93, but before 2008, you'd have to go like, okay, here we go. 2008 is actually around here. So between like 2008 and 97, this thing just kind of stayed stagnant. But from 2008 to 12 and on, the market has just gone crazy as far as the top 500 companies are concerned. Okay. I even took it back to looking at like the Dow Jones index. And if you go to the Dow Jones from like 94, 95 on, the market just went, it's just crazy. Okay. Just craziness. Basically, let me put a little horizontal here. From generally 95 on, the market has just been insane with volume. Okay. So to me, it says really doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter who's picked. You know what I mean? But I believe as far as it's been giving to us right now by the public or these candidates that we've been given as far as like Kamala and Trump, as far as cryptocurrency is concerned, to me, it seems like Trump has the edge. But I'm going to wait and debate that with our guy, Underdog Research Channel. Have a nice little debate about that, a little offline about that. Like, okay, which side would be better for cryptocurrency, right? But with that said, right, and we know that the election is in November, right? Going back here to cryptocurrency. What I think we can kind of see is if we look at 2020, right? Because remember, these kind of coincide with halvings a little bit. It went bananas. And we kind of like 2016, a little, you could kind of say that too. You could kind of say after the election on 2016, Bitcoin went bananas too, right? You could kind of say that. So it seems to me, and I've shown you guys other proof about as far as what the central bank is doing the beginning of 2025, right? So I think this may be the last we can come and like reorganize our portfolios to get ready for what's coming, right? To be the guy who's sitting up here 12K and to get to 180K, not financial advice, but like what we saw with Bitcoin if we look at the chart here, like how someone took Bitcoin, or someone could have taken, I should say, Bitcoin here in 2019 and here be sitting in 2024 with, taking 12K and be sitting here with 180K. It's insanity, right? So let's get ready now, since we kind of have a lullish type of period in the market here. We've been kind of lulling since, what is it? Since like what, 70K? We've just had a kind of a lull period in the market in which, okay, we might be back up to 60, but as you can see from the chart, it's still kind of a trend down, right? Even though it's kind of picked back up recently. If we go to the day chart, you can see for the most part, it was a trend down from 70, right? So this might be the time, if we want to retool our portfolio, this might be the time, right? So let me see here. I don't know from you guys, and I'm gonna mention a couple different cryptocurrencies. Of course, patrons, they get a weekly watch list of 10 or 9, and I throw in honorable mentions. But I want to know from you guys, what are the sectors you guys are looking into for both cryptocurrency and stock? What are some of the cryptos you're looking at to retool your portfolio? Okay. Now, just specifically, to look at some fan favorites we've been talking about, right? Swift. Now, from the beginning of the year, like take the beginning of the year a little bit last year, right? Kind of November 2023-ish, right? Swift was sitting at 0.0001. It's kind of developed a shelf here at, let me get another alert up, where for the most part, except for these little 2 wicks here, it's kind of sitting above 27.0027, which is good. This is what we kind of want to see. Another one in that same mold would be, where is it? I guess I didn't save it. Let me get an alert for it, or a chart for it. Stronghold. I'm going to get that item. Yeah, so same kind of deal here. For the beginning of the year, it was sitting at 0.00036, and it's sitting. That's a 10x, bro. That's craziness. Dropped a whole zero, bro. It's developed this shelf right above 0.0036, and just happens to be sitting at 0.0036 right now. They did actually break the 1 cent mark, but you can see it's kind of developing a shelf and moving forward. Of course, no chart. There's few charts that look as good as Bitcoin, in that, there's a lot of noise on this chart. But if you can see through the noise, you can look at it and see that even though there have been really high periods, the trend is always up with Bitcoin. There's very few charts in which you can see just an always uptrend like this. Like maybe the SPY is one of them, right? Of course, this is like the SPY is a basket of stocks, whereas Bitcoin is just Bitcoin, you know? So really craziness. But I'm thinking, you know, to zero in on different things like SWIFT, in which we know, and I've shown people, I've shown this many times, right? And we'll get to the chat here in a sec. On both sides of this owner, the Drapers, which, you know, Drapers, we've been over and through this, that they've had backing by the Rockefellers, and we got Node Capital, which has a Roth in their ownership. So it's very telling to me that that's there. Also, we've seen with Swift and it moving whenever something is kind of mentioned great about bricks, it tends to like have a little pop up. To me, I think Swift is going to be very essential for bricks and the Draper empire. Okay, so really liking what I'm seeing out of Swift. And we spoke on Stronghold again. Why did I not save that? Let's go ahead and go back there. And then I'm going to save an alert. Okay. I guess I got the alert. I want to edit it. Okay. So one other one I wanted to talk about too that's developed a really nice shelf is Jasmine. And definitely check out their Maximus Crypto. He does some of the greatest content and coverage Jasmine, but kind of the same thing here. Of course, Jasmine, you see it was like way up there, but the point is what it looks like now, in that it had this shelf here before the year where it was like 0.0003 for the longest time, and then bam, right, all the way up to 4 cents, which is just craziness to think about. But here it's kind of has a shelf here at the 0.018 cents mark, which is like a 6x from what you could have had it at the beginning of the year. Okay, so real craziness here. But I think these are the type of crypto projects that we want to be in, because they're just gonna not financial advice to me. I think, you know, if you know the history and you've done the research on things like Jasmine, like Swift, which we've talked about, and Stronghold, which we've talked about, you understand what they're being used for, and you understand that you know, the next step is probably up for these guys, right? And a lot of the research that we just did on Draper and others, and we ran into different companies like Intel. We ran into different companies like Chase Bank, right? I guess Intel is Intel not publicly sold? I don't know. Okay, there we go. So yeah, from when they started, like many years ago, to like 70 or something more dollars to, I guess, 20 now. But again, we're investing almost like right here, right? So like these are kind of like we're putting our foot in the door at the beginning of certain companies like this. It'd be interesting to kind of go back and see, okay, when it rock us in it and all of this type of stuff. But we can see here, right, from nothing to like $70, right? And that's where we are with a lot of these different Draper related assets. And yeah, so let's go over here to the comments and see what we got here. My guy living in Central Florida, what's up? Underdog Research Channel in the house. Okay, I always mess that up and click on the wrong button here. There we go. Appreciate you coming through, brother. You're supporting Black Rue Investing, aka Ruel Crypto Rue podcast. Appreciate it. Living in Central Florida. Smash the like for Rue. What's up, Sam? XRP will dominate, outperform Bitcoin in terms of ROI, at least from current prices at Phantom Beat X 120 XRP price. That reminds me, there was some XRP news in which I think they said that an XRP ETF was coming. I definitely hold XRP as well, and that's another show that we might have to have coming up here, because there we go. Grayscale to launch XRP US Trust, paving the way for more. And remember, we kind of already have these in different other countries, right? Grayscale to launch US XRP Trust, paving the way for potential ETF. Rapalta announced the creation of a new single asset crypto investment fund, Grayscale XRP Trust, which will be available through private placement. So this is it here for XRP. And for a lot of the ISO 20022 investors, these coins did not move as much as this is on Coinbase. That's not going to be a big chart. Where was it for the longest? Probably KuCoin, maybe. Okay, yep. So I guess even still, XRP did do a decent, a fair amount of growth from, like, if you bought it at the beginning or towards the end of last year, right? Well, actually, I guess you got to go back to March 2023. So it was sitting at like 30 something cents there, right? And we just diagrammed some others that had way better growth than this. But, I guess it is what it is. It's still up almost 2x. And when you look at some of the cryptocurrencies we've been looking at on here, this is a paltry rise to something when you compare it to like Velo, which we'll come over here and look at as well. I guess let's go to the day chart. Velo, and that's one we talked about, one of the Patreons got around here. Like, crazy talk, bro. Crazy talk. Just to digress into Velo for a second. If you held Velo, and this is one that the patrons got as well, guys. If you held Velo at December 23rd at 0.0028, okay, you're up. What is this? A good 5x? Yeah, it's a good 5x from here, right? And it looks like it definitely did kind of have a shelf from the 0.091 area. This is kind of like where its shelf is. But again, and we've connected Velo to Draper as well. A lot of good ones when we're talking about things connected to Draper, right? And how big his empire is just goes to show, you know what I mean? Like the power this guy has behind him. We've shown you how he's gotten connected in China. He's had connections in China from his grandfather and his father. And Velo specifically is in Thailand. So still in that kind of Central Asia area. But yeah, going back to XRP here again. I really think that it's going to be the time coming up again for 20022 coins. And why I say that is this here again. Where is it? Central banks to set standards on banks' exposure to crypto from the BIS here. And this is written very weird, but basically what it says is coming in 2025, central banks can have crypto reserves up to 2% starting January 1st, 2021 or 2025. So central banks go to from zero crypto reserves to 2% crypto reserves, and that all goes into effect on January 1st, 2025. Okay, so this includes digital assets, tokenized traditional assets, stablecoins, and unbacked cryptocurrencies. All of that. So, what are some of the things they might grab? The central banks, maybe XRP, maybe Quant, right? Our man Maximus Crypto has been talking a lot about Quant coming up here. I'll definitely pay attention to Max's videos, right? You know, maybe Stellar, all of that. So XRP, I don't think we're too far away from, you know, some get off here. But just think about what we were just showing you guys with Intel, right? How long did it take Intel to just kind of pop off? Let's look at that. And how we were just talking about we've been talking about NVIDIA too, right? How you had to hold it for 20 years to kind of get what you needed to get out of it, right? So how long it took for Intel from like 73 to like like what was that? That's like 27 years. That, which is very interesting because 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. So like 20, it took 27 years for that to do what it needed to do, right? It's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. But we could be right around here, you know, with XRP. Well, God, hopefully it doesn't take 27 years. It's already been about 8 or 9, right? But you know, I think, you know, something like this will be coming for an XRP, for a Quant, right? For Swift, right? So yeah, this is good news. This is really good news for XRP. Now, understand we do have other XRP ETFs in different other countries. You know, this will be the first coming up here for the US. So that's interest. That's gonna be interesting. They're very cool. 100%. Understand BTC and ETH will outperform return on investment 100%. What's good, fam? We are on our way. What's up, E? I'm all in on Swift C and XCN. No going back to hero or zero. I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. XCN is another one we can look at right quick. I haven't looked at them in quite a bit, but we know that they have Visa backing, right? And Draper and them are kind of connected to this because we've seen connections with XCN, right? So all of these things are kind of building into one another in that, they're relating to that kind of old guard, if you will, the IBMs of the world, the Visas of the world, the MasterCards of the world, when we're looking at things like XLR, right? So as much as people think, okay, cryptocurrency, why would we ever invest in cryptocurrency? It's replacing the American dollar, blah, 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 blah. This is the old guard who's actually building up cryptocurrency. So they think it's a replacement. Yeah, it is, but it's a replacement by the people who own the old stuff, right? So when you look at it that way, it's a completely different quote unquote argument, right? So the people in charge are just making something better, right? So yeah, when you look at it that way, it's a crazy event. It's a completely different argument. But of course, right? Most people don't understand that. They're just looking at what major media news is talking about, not something like a Coin Telegraph or the block, right? They're not looking at that. They're looking at like the MSNBCs of the world and stuff like that. They're not they're not concerned with our little crypto news. Okay, so yeah, XCN. Okay, not bad. Let's see here. It too has like a shelf here from what the beginning of the year is. So like we really did have kind of a bull market, right? It just didn't go as high as most of us really thought. And I think 2025 is going to continue that for us. So still, if you invested in XCN, you still have, looks like, almost 70%, 80% profit, right? And at its height, you had a 5x, 4x. And we know this guy is heavily involved in Visa, with Visa. Check out an old show I did on that. Check out Shook Focus's work on XCN. He does some great work on that. He did some great work on Swift. Definitely check out Shook stuff. Yeah, bro. Yeah, we miss you over here, bro. We miss you over here. Definitely enjoy Hawaii. So CXCN all the way here at 0. Yep. What's up, Prospector? What's up, Blockchain Teddy? What's up, bro? Appreciate you coming through. Okay, so yeah, guys, let's. I would like to hear some of what you guys are looking at. We have, of course, that we're looking at on this channel. Of course, we've mentioned Swift and Swift related, Draper related coins, right? But if we were to take it away from Draper and to kind of look at narratives, definitely like payment cryptos are very important to me. And of course, patrons, you kind of have all the narratives that I'm looking at. But payment cryptos are definitely kind of like important, one of which XCN we're looking at right now. There are other ones which the patrons have a full list on. But yeah, I'm looking at a lot of things that are Draper related, even in the stock market. like one of which you can say Robinhood, right? Had you invested in Robinhood at the beginning of the year, let's see what we got here, or towards the end of last year, I should say. $8 all the way to 24, almost a 3x here, which is about exactly what Nvidia did, but everybody's talking about Nvidia, right? Nobody's talking about Robinhood. And Robinhood, we know, just bought a cryptocurrency firm over in Europe, which is going to help them out with MiCA laws, right? Very bullish looking cryptocurrency stock right there. And of course, one that we told people about, which is kind of on a pullback now, but still doing very, very good from where we bought it at, CleanSpark. We bought it at like $1.77. Let's go ahead and put the little shelf there. That's like $2 there. There we go. There's the $1.77. Let's put it accurate. So we bought around there, and gotta love that. Gotta love that. So at where CleanSpark is right now, that's about 5-6x. But if you're talking about up here, that's just like a 10x. Gotta love CleanSpark. I think E just shared some news on a Telegram. Definitely come on over to the Telegram, where we talk general dating, positive man stuff, conspiracy, everything, stock, anime, health and wellness, artificial intelligence, which is another kind of narrative to think about coming up here in 2025. But yeah, CleanSpark just bought 7 Bitcoin mining facilities in Tennessee. You know that song. For $30 million. All right. So they're clearly still, you know what I mean, still buying stuff, still financially sound. In fact, we can even go check that. Well, we can't now because I'm not logged into it. So we won't go check that for a second. We won't go check that today. But yeah, so CleanSpark looking like so right now they just def crossed as far as the day chart goes. But you know, hopefully they'll pull up out of that def cross and just have a shelf here at the $9 mark and continue going. But of course, this stock is highly correlated to whatever Bitcoin is doing. So if Bitcoin pops back up to the 70s, then CleanSpark's probably going to pop back up in that same realm. But yeah, AI, that's another kind of narrative to look at for this up and coming year. I know that Jasmine is involved in AI. So of course, in the the country of Japan, right? So Jasmine is actual AI play, right? So AI might be a big narrative that we want to look at coming up for the next year here. I'm looking at Goldfinch. Rue, what up? It's funny you mentioned that. I have not sent it out yet, but that is going to be on the Patreon list for this week. I like Goldfinch. I like Goldfinch a lot. Let's go ahead and look at Goldfinch right quick. Some of the backers of Goldfinch. Let's put this now. to darkness here. Let's go to cryptorank.com, shall we? I believe Bill Ackman. And Bill Ackman's come up in our research with Metapath and a couple other cryptos. If we go ahead and look at GFI, we'll see that Ackman is backing them, along with some of our usual characters, right? Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase Ventures. So Draper's involved in this one as well through Coinbase Ventures. It's amazing how many things this dude is involved in. But when you get all his ancillary stuff besides Draper Associates, and you're looking at like Polychain Capital, you're looking at Coinbase Ventures and Boost Capital, and all the things that he's invested in, like bros and everything. But yeah. And of course, we diagrammed on here the Draper and Andreessen are Roy's, but let's continue. So if we scroll down here, where's Ackman? There he is, Bill Ackman. So we got Ackman here. We got Draper there. We got Andreessen Horowitz here. Some others. I don't know any of these others specifically, but I'm sure some of these others probably would lead us in another direction, right? But yeah, and as far as the Goldfinch supply, right? Total supply under 120 million. I really like that, and the fact that it's a real world asset kind of crypto and all about decentralized credit and borrowing, right? Yeah, and it's another one of those ones, if you kind of look, that has kind of a shelf that it's developed like it's kind of you know what I mean, like growing. She bought it at the beginning or at the end of last year, 39 cents. But sitting here, $2.22, you're up what is that, like 4, 5, 6x? About 6x. Yeah, that's 6x. So amazing. Yeah, and this was going to be on the Patreon list. It is. Esco just kind of spoiled it there. But yeah, I like Goldfinch a lot. People like Ackman, Draper, and Andreessen Horowitz in it. And you look at the different low supply cryptos with big names behind them have moved very well. Case in point, let's bring up here Injective. Let's go back here. Goldfinch, 37 million, but sometimes you go to fundraising and find out that actually was a bigger number. Okay, it was just 37 million, but if we look at Injective, I think Injective is even a way smaller supply. No, okay, Injective is 100 million. 100 million. So really, it's only like a little bit more from Goldfinch, but Cuban, Pantera Capital, Jump Crypto, and Hashed. Okay, Hashed we've seen. I think it's Hashed or Hash Key. I don't know if they're related or not, but we've seen for sure Pantera and Jump Crypto, and a lot of Draper related cryptos. We see Cuban here, but imagine Goldfinch doing something like Injective, right? not too far to think of, given the supply, given kind of the price point. We could see something like that from Goldfinch, but like just think about that, right? And I think it had gotten to around like $5 or $6 or something like that. So to imagine it to go to 53 wouldn't be too far off. Wouldn't be too far off. But this is something that I kind of like to do. This is not financial advice or anything, but this is just something I like to do. I like to look at precedents. And when I look at precedents, and that's precedent, not president. Okay. But precedent, when I look at precedent, I like to match up cryptos that kind of have some of the same funding and backing and some of the same type of supplies. And imagine, okay, if that all of those things are true, kind of where could it go? So that's kind of where possibly Goldfinch could go. Oh, really? Did they really try to aim at the guy again? Are you serious, Jake Faber? Are you serious? I almost want to look at the news and see if that's. I think Jake's a straight shooter. Pun not intended that time, but Jake's a straight shooter. So, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Again, poised for generational wealth for sure. What is up? I'm gonna say Frozen 6, boys. Yep, I say buy AI coins if you're gambling with crap coins. It's is far better to pick them because a few of them will pop. It's not that many though. Yeah, Draper is so deep in the game, bro. Draper's so deep in the game. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we found him and all the connections with him as far as Ethereum goes and how deep this guy is in the game. I think really picking on that thread, some of the things that he's going to have are definitely going to pop off. And I think we've already seen that, right? So 66 on X and 14 apiece on YouTube. Definitely, if you guys like what you see, definitely come over and subscribe to the YouTube. It's YouTube at Black Roo, just like the Twitter or X. Any thoughts on Casper right now? You know what? Casper, it's crazy. Casper is a crazy bargain right now. If we go look at Casper, I never thought that Casper would get this low. I definitely need to buy some more. This is the craziest of the craziest bargains. If we go to the week chart, you can see here it had a very nice kind of shelf here at like 2 to 3 cents, and it fell right through that boy, like directly through it. So will it hold on here at 1? I mean, the thing that we have to kind of note from all of this is that whoever was staking Casper was sitting here getting like 10% for all of this time. So like if somebody had like bought it at 3 cents, it went to like 6, and they're just continuously getting this 10% interest from Casper. Casper. That just made off like really well. But again, Draper involved with this one. I really think Casper has some things because they have IBM, again, another old school company behind them. and it's such a great bargain here. I would buy up until like, I don't think if it got under a cent, I would still probably be buying this thing. I would buy right here. Like it would. I don't think there's a price that I wouldn't buy Casper at, or Casper, excuse me, at. Um, if we go and look at it, right? Even though it's an inflational cryptocurrency, it's still only about 13 billion of these. Just the chart in this aspect kind of looks bad. And here's the hash key capital. Um, Draper going home right here. They got 29.4 mil. And if you look at his chart, it's kind of scary. If we go back to this one, like what happened, bro? Just, but yet the press, the PR, the names, like all the backing behind this cryptocurrency, it would really make it. It really wouldn't make too much sense for this thing to go to zero. But perhaps we do see it a little bit under a penny. I don't know. But all I can say is it's a good buying price right here. The inflation doesn't scare me too much, considering like, okay, you're only 13 million or 13 billion, excuse me, and towards your inflation, and Doge, which is crazy, like crazy total supply and inflationary, is sitting at like what, 17 cents, 8 cents, something like that. Where's Doge right now? $0.10. And ridiculous supply, 145 billion. But I don't think people understand that Dogecoin is inflationary. I really don't think that people understand it. I think they just understand that, Elon's invested in it, and that's all they need to know, really. And you still got the dollar Doge people that are kind of there. So there we go. But yeah, I think Casper will have its day for sure. I really do. But it's kind of unfortunate to see what it did this bull run. And hopefully it's found its floor here. Hopefully it's found its floor. It's been sitting here for quite a little bit here, because it gotten as far down as 1.1.011. You can see it's kind of picked up from that a bit. Let's bring in some other tools here. So if we're bringing in the RSI for the week, it's like it's really at and under oversold. So we really can think that that's not too much farther that it can go down, because it's already at oversold for the week. And if you kind of look at this kind of looks like a W pattern to me. So this would be kind of maybe like the spring, if you would, here. Let's look at the day chart, see if we do better. Like it wants to, looks like it's trying to round about here. Let's go down to like the 2 hour. Let's get rid of those extra. Let's get rid of the fan. Okay, on the 2 hour, it kind of looks like it's coming back a little bit, but it would have to pass this point, which is 0.014, before we can actually say anything about it being, off its snide. It would really have to pass that point before we could even say maybe you're done. Which kind of, you can see here with Swift, it was close to passing its point of, which is right here, almost passed it. It's very close to passing it, but it's going to have to pass 0.0035 before we can say, okay, you're done with falling. Let's put a marker there too. So if it can pass that point, which it's so dangerously close to passing it. If it can pass that point, then maybe we're done with the falling here. So you can see from since March 24th, it's been close to it's just been selling off like most cryptos, right? Are you bullish on Helium Mobile? I haven't done much checking on Helium Mobile recently. I have a little bit of that coin. I'll have to check out some Helium Mobile at some point. Maybe do a show on it. Yes, again. Wow. My man's gotten shot at twice. Like, this guy is like Tupac at this point. Well, I'm hoping he, doesn't end up like Tupac. What price do you see Casper at in the bull run? It's tough to say at this point. I don't know that I have any type of comparison to Casper. Let's go back to the day chart here. I don't think there's anything I can even compare this to. Yeah, there's no precedent to compare this to. Started at $1 and it's drained all the way down to a cent, and it has like IBM and all this different backing. Draper, like I there's nothing to compare it to. I have no idea with this one. Just being straight honest, I have no idea with this one. And it's fairly one of my fairly large holdings. It's probably like top 20 in the coins that I hold, where it goes, I can't say, but as far as like the backing behind it and all the different players, IBM and whatnot, all the World Economic Forum stuff that they have going on for them. Yeah, I mean, where it goes, I don't know. We probably have to just see it get back to like the 6 cent area before we can say anything, right? But again, even getting back to 6 cents from here is a 6x. So that's a juicy prospect to think about. I guess what could we compare this to Jasmine? It's a way bigger supply, but Jasmine did hit like $1, went like all the way sub penny on people. Way bigger supply though. They like expanded their supply on people, which was just kind of messed up. But yeah, I guess we could kind of compare this to Jasmine a little bit. But does that mean we get sub penny Casper? I don't know. That's a good question, bro. I don't know. I don't know. These are questions I'm not really prepped to answer. But just off the fly, I don't think there's a comparison we can make there with them. Ooh, I meant to cut this at an hour, but we'll keep going. APY is now 14.18. Okay, Casper, keep going. I'm staking, so I'm definitely gonna love this APY. I want more Ethereum now. It's gonna be like Bitcoin. You know what? I was just thinking about that too, Jake Fever. Just think about what we were just talking about, right? I don't know when you came in, Jake, but think about what we were just talking about when we were just saying, like, okay, 5 years ago, 2019, right? Right here, roundabout right here. Bitcoin was at $3,849 dollars. And then here 5 years later, if you had invested 12K in Bitcoin, you basically would have roughly had 180K right now. Now look at Ethereum. Again, the supply is not, I don't know how much Ethereum's out there, but it's definitely not 21 million. It's more than that. But could we see something similar with Ethereum? And we've already been through with you guys, right? About Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase Bank, and the Rockefellers being behind it, and kind of the Draper connections there with consensus and all of that stuff. So this Ethereum to them basically is almost controllable Bitcoin, and now you can't mine it anymore. So it's supremely under their control. So where could we see Ethereum in a bit? Like, let's see what is their supply at officially. And I don't know, are they doing staking or are they just max supply is what it is? No, I think they're doing staking. So max supply can actually be kind of infinity. I don't know. Or maybe this is just leftover. Let's go see what CoinGecko says. Because I know they're doing all the like staking and restaking with Ethereum. So maybe technically the supply can still be infinite. But since people aren't mining it anymore, what you see is pretty much the supply, maybe. Okay, max supply can be infinite. So I don't know how this works out when you put into the field like staking and all of this stuff and restaking of Ethereum. Because I think when you restake, they give you like a they don't give you an Ethereum. They give you like some type of restaking token or something like that. But if we just think of it as being close to like this supply, right? 120 something million. That's what? 5 times the supply of Bitcoin, give or take. No, 6 times. 6 times the supply of Bitcoin, give or take. So Bitcoin is still kind of in the lead if you, I guess, took Bitcoin's price and, well, if you took Bitcoin's price and divided it by 6, yeah, if you took Bitcoin's price and divided it by 6, it's still way more worthy than Ethereum. Because if you divided Bitcoin's price by 6, that would be like 10K, which would still make it kind of a better asset than Ethereum. But again, Ethereum's kind of more controllable Bitcoin for these people. So yeah, I agree with you. I'll agree with you on that, Jake. And I was looking at that and I was thinking about that today. Might want to just, have a couple Ethereum just cause. Like again, going back to that whole 2018 thing, right? Or 2019 thing with Bitcoin. 12K would have bought you 3 Bitcoin at that point in time, right? Yeah, it would bought you about three, a little over 3 Bitcoin at $3,840 something dollars, and you'd be sitting on 180K. So you want to go and hold on to like 5 Ethereum, a little bit over 10K. See what happens in 5 years. Sounds like not a bad bet to me, right? Sounds like a pretty good bet to me. Ooh, should I let go of Litecoin and invest somewhere else? Man, that's a tough question, bro. That's a tough question. I can't give anyone financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. That's definitely up to you. But I don't know. Again, we got this whole thing coming up with the central banks, right? What are some of the things they buy? Will Litecoin be one of them? I don't know. Maybe XRP will. I don't know. I don't know, bro. That's up to you. That's up to you. I can't say. I really can't say on that one. So I'm not a financial advisor, but I don't know, bro. I can't say on that one. I can't say on that one. But yeah, I like what you're talking about here, Jake. I was thinking about that today, just to put away a couple of Ethereum and just not worry about it. Just put them in a cold storage, put a couple, grab a couple of Ethereum, just put them away, not worry about it. Come back in 5 years, see if it does what Bitcoin did, right? Of course, the supply is more. We understand that, but again, we know the guys behind it. And have we ever gone in here and checked with Ethereum? I mean, we know Consensus is behind it for sure, but they'll show us more backers. Okay, they don't tell us how much they invested, I guess, but Andreessen Horowitz, Pantera Capital, Multicoin Capital, Galaxy, Paradigm, DCG, like everybody, basically everybody. Almeida Research, Winklevoss Capital, Jump Capital, Boost VC, again, Draper. We know Draper's involved with Consensus too, or we're pretty certain Draper's involved with Consensus. Again, kind of a speculation there, but again, we know Draper and his family and how they're connected to the Rockefellers and how the Rockefellers are connected to Chase. Definitely go check those episodes out if you haven't seen them already. The Drapers and the Rockefellers, birth for the modern petrodollar, 2 in 1. Because you get to really understand like who these people are and what they're doing, right? So check out Drapers and the Rockefellers, both episodes, and then the Drapers, 3 generations of international banking, business, and policy. Because we go into connecting Draper, Tim Draper, his daddy and his granddaddy to everything that happened after World War II and setting up NATO, the UN, Draper's daddy and George Bush, and some of the things they're doing with the Import-Export Bank. It's craziness to think about, guys, but definitely go check those out. You really get an understanding of like, okay, So when we're talking about Ethereum and we're saying Ethereum's connected to consensus, and the consensus, the money man behind consensus is JP Morgan Chase. Oh, bro, it just opens up so many. It's just like mind blowing. You know that one meme where it's like the guy touching his head, then just light comes out of his head. It's just mind blowing, bro. It's mind blowing. And let me show you something. Am I still sharing my view here? Yes, I am. And we were looking at the Mellon family, right? How these guys have already earned tons off of XRP, right? And understand that the Rothschilds are behind XRP, right? And Swift as well. But when I saw this, it kind of blew my mind a little bit. This is Matthew Mellon, member of the Mellon family. Member of the Mellon family, right? And the Mellon family is invested in cryptocurrency. Mellon was named finance chairman by state chairman Ed Cox in May 2011. In February 2018, Forbes magazine reported that Mellon's $2 million investment in cryptocurrency XRP turned to a $1 billion fortune. And this was when XRP was like $1 something, right? So, you know, he's passed on now, but he has brothers and cousins, and the Mellon family still, they're still around. But so everybody's all in on Ethereum, including the Winklevosses, which we've connected Draper to the Winklevosses too with the Gemini, because and of course Gemini is the twins, right? It's the zodiac sign for the twins. So very, very astute or coincidental for those guys to pick that, right? But yeah, we've connected Draper to owning a piece of Gemini. So everybody's involved in Ethereum, but then we go over here to XRP, right? And we see different banks. We see the Mellons involved. I think they have them on here. I'm not sure if they do or not, but we've seen it before with different press articles. Santander. Andreessen Horowitz, Pantera Capital, DCG, Accenture, be interesting to figure out which one of these is related to the Mellon family, because the Mellons have their own fund through the bank, BNY Mellon, and I didn't see that directly connected to XRP, but yet we saw in Mr. Matthew Mellon's profile that they're saying he admits that $2 million investment led to $1 billion fortune. So why is that not listed there? But we can see here with the BNY Mellon portfolio that they're invested in consensus, right? So sometimes you gotta go through a couple different holding firms or entities to actually find out who's invested in it, right? Like with consensus, we've seen how consensus has the Drapers in it, has the Mellons in it, has JP Morgan Chase, which is connected to the Rockefellers in it. It's crazy. So all the old school, all the old guard is connected to cryptocurrency. And why wouldn't they be, right? They're connected to dollars, American dollars, and the central banks, right? So why wouldn't they be connected to cryptocurrency, right? Just makes sense. Just makes sense. isn't over yet. Is SWFT technically AI at all? You could say it's AI. And Underdog Research Channel has shown us that, and how Biden has found different things as far as the EB5 is gone. So you could say that Swift is AI as well. Anyone talking about all the gas fees that the layer 2s are taking away from Ethereum layer 1? And and this is in a certain sense, this is necessary, prospector, especially when you look at things like the gaming sector. And shout out to Matthew Saunders, not Sanders, but Saunders. Shout out to Andrew Sanders. Oh my God, I keep saying it wrong. Shout out to Andrew Saunders for coming on to our channel to talk about scale. Because with different things like scale, which we'll talk about for a second here, which is also backed by consensus, right? Like we keep finding the same players, right? The same freaking players, right? But this is good, right? Because we're investing in the things that the big money is behind, right? So this is really good for us. This is good for us, right? That we're investing in the things that big money is behind, right? So scale, consensus, right? Galaxy, Hashkey Capital, right? Keep finding these guys. Boost VC, Draper Sun, right? Regal Voss Capital, like same guys, right? Behind these things. And scale, right? If they want gaming to be big, if you want gaming kind of like Ronin did, right? And if you follow Scale's Twitter, their X, they already show you that they're killing Ronin. They have way more users than Ronin. So they're really ahead of Ronin, right? But Ronin, the thing that they did with Axie Infinity was they replaced the salary of people that live in the Philippines. So they brought a whole bunch of new gamers to cryptocurrency gaming, which something like Scale can do based on the speed and based on the zero gas fees. So in a sense, it's necessary. Okay. So the layer 2s having all these derivatives built on top of Ethereum because Ethereum can't scale. I think that's just a good thing. And also it kind of, at the same time, it's taking money away from people investing in Ethereum by investing in secondary coins. So keeping Ethereum in the hands of the people who kind of want it, like Chase Bank and stuff like that. So, don't forget to buy Ethereum. But at the same time, it's going to make things easier for companies like Scale to get into the gaming space and make the gaming space great as far as like NFTs and gaming NFTs, which I think are going to have a bigger importance as we come into the metaverse, right? As we come into the metaverse, people having these artifacts, these gaming artifacts and these gaming NFTs are going to become more and more important as people kind of spend more and more time into the metaverse. And I think it might not be our generation or the generation, I don't know what they call in the new one, Z, but maybe the generation under Z, which spends a lot more time in the metaverse and has a lot more importance on NFT properties. I never knew that about Gemini. Yep. Cool. Like 82 viewers on I'm gonna have to start doing Saturdays around 3 or more because seems like we're getting a lot of coverage there as far as X is concerned, and we like that. We like that. But yeah, the biggest takeaway here, guys, is coming up here, fourth quarter, right? This might be the best time for us to go ahead and shift over our portfolio before the presidential election, okay? Because where it seems like is if we look at the Bitcoin and Bitcoin chart, after these presidential elections, or at least for the last halving and the halving before that, there was a pickup, after the elections as far as the price goes. You can see here from these lines that I drew here. It's a little sketchier in 2016, as in it kind of took almost, it's right here. Well, November 21st, 2016 on. It's not too sketchy, actually. It's not too bad. The election is like the beginning of November. So it's not actually it's not too bad. So for the last two elections, like kind of right after the election, things have picked up. And we've also shown you another catalyst as far as like the central bank allowing central banks to have crypto reserves coming January 1st, 2025. So that, along with the election, man, maybe we have some really popping things going on in the cryptocurrency market. And right now, while things are kind of pulled back, we have a little opportunity to reorganize, reshape our portfolios, so we're good coming into this next year. Oh, another thing that also happens towards the end of the year is people rebalance their stock and other investment portfolios because of the tax season. So I don't. It's all sitting here waiting for us, and let's take advantage of it now. Reorganize now. Not financial advice, just what I'm doing with my portfolio. Looking to rebalance now so I could take advantage of this upcoming election, this upcoming central bank investing in cryptocurrency. Like, yeah, I'm really looking to take advantage of that. And, hey, maybe you might too. So thanks for coming through, guys. I'm going to try to get more videos out here. Like, I've been down to doing one a week. We're going to try to get back to doing them on Thursdays or on Wednesdays. But thank you guys for your time and attention. Hopefully I've earned a subscription for those who are not subscribed. Thanks so much. I'm out. Catch you guys hopefully on Wednesday or Thursday, but for sure next Sunday. We're out.